harvest delight. You have kept us well fed this long winter's night. The wonders of your wealth and glorious treasure are exceeded only by your generous measure. 'Tis true, Xerxes, we lift our cups to you. Hear, hear.
What lovely music is this I hear at the midnight hour? It must be Vashti, my dear queen, playing in her garden bower. Sether, go tell Vashti to come and play. Her lyre shall usher in the coming day. It is my desire to gaze on her beauty this night, in royal robe and crown, to the king's delight.
Yes, sire, I will do as you say. I will summon Queen Vashti without delay. Queen, the king commands your presence. Bring your lyre dressed in royal robes and crowns. He wishes to share your music and beauty with many guests gathered round.
What? The king disturbs me in this quiet hour when the moon does shine above my bower? I do not wish to go and beckon so late. I am sure it will not hurt him to wait. Tell the king I shall meet him when the sunlight shines in my garden again. At that time I'll gladly bring my beautiful lyre and gaily sing.
Disturb me not, requests Vashti, the queen. In this late hour I shall not be seen, but gladly tomorrow I will come to my king and bring my lyre to play and sing.
Vashti has refused the order of her king. Does she not understand the trouble that this brings?
If this is allowed, our wives might think it amusing to disobey us at any time of their choosing.
What shall be done with such a queen? Banish her from your sight, send her away this very night.
Let her face no more be seen. Choose another for your queen.
Surely in this round there is a woman of beauty who is also respectful of love and duty.
Scribe, let it be written at this time, Vashti is no longer a wife of mine. No longer shall she serve Persia as queen. Soon another in her place will be seen.
Lord, I have recorded your decree. It is the law. Vashti is now banished once and for all.
Dear uncle, does this dream truly mean I am to become Persia's next queen?
How can this be? I know nothing of courtly ways. In my Hebrew values I cannot betray.
The God of our fathers, of whom you know well, will show you the place and how you should dwell. For now say no word of your faith friends or home. With God at your side, you will not journey alone. When Esther arrived at the palace gates, her entry was secured by her beauty and grace. She was sent to a kind woman named Haggai, who was to instruct her in the courtly ways. Esther, to you I will gladly show all of the secrets that you must know. Customs strange, spices fair, scents and oils rich and rare. How to play the lyre and sing, how to act just like a queen. For I can see from the goodness in your eyes that you will help our king be wise.
When at last Esther was presented to the king, he knew at once that he had found his queen. For she had beauty, warmth, and grace, and upon her head the crown he placed. A grand wedding feast was enjoyed by all. Joyful music and dancing filled the hall. And listening outside, sitting quiet and still, was Mordecai smiling, his vision fulfilled.
The king and queen lived apart as was the custom then. Esther could only enter the palace if the king invited her in. For no one could safely draw near Xerxes' throne unless summoned by the king and the king alone. If one attempted to approach uninvited, that person's fate would be quickly decided by a wave of Xerxes' golden scepter. One direction meant a painful death, while extending it forward allowed one to pass. Which way it would go you never knew. It always depended upon Xerxes' mood.
As Mordecai reclined beside the king's gate, 2 soldiers approached, plotting the king's fate.
Partner and friend, shall we at this night? This one from Tarshish with the job line.
Bold and brash and brave are we, how clever and cunning all shall see. None shall suspect this wine sweet and tart to hold poison enough to stop the king's heart.
Hush, that all men can hear.
Jibber jabber, that'll never. He mumbles and jumbles in his sleep of our language he can't even speak.
The king's enemies live were at well. Where are his death? Read the tale. Let us be off, no longer to tarry. Soon enough shall we be married.
Esther, Esther, I heard 2 spies, guards of the king, filled with lies. They plot to poison our good king. There is murder in the wine they bring.
The king has just called me to his son, who dined this evening with him alone. I'll speak to him, then my uncle dear, of these plots of these traitors you did overhear.
The king sent an officer from on by name to seek out the conspirators and determine their game. Their plot was revealed as Mordecai had said. The
would not bow down before you.
It's because he's an arrogant Jew.
The laws of our land the dads disobey.
Yes.
Hebrews like him have their own ways.
The Hebrews are scattered o'er Persia like grain. They thrive and they prosper in drought and in rain. I do not care what God they adore, but when I pass by they must bow to the floor. If they do not show respect for Haman, their time in Persia will soon come to an end. Since only do Jehovah do the Hebrews bow, Persia shall be rid of them, this I vow. I will consult a soothsayer for a lucky date, one that will help to seal the Hebrews' fate. Wise counselor, I greet thee and imploringly beseech thee to find a lucky date on which to undertake a plan to help the king. Honor to Persia it will bring. As you wish honored Haman, the stones will surely tell the date you are seeking for all to go well. Per stones embrace, on the true date turn up your face. Adar is the month of which you ask. The 13th is the day for you to act. This is the date to ensure your fate. Thank you, my friend, for what you foretold. Here's your payment, a sack full of gold.
Commander, you have come. What news do you bring me under the sun?
King, oh my king, hearken to what I say. Plots against your throne have I heard of this day. Spread over your land both near and far. Are folk not content to follow your star? They do not celebrate our customs or ways. They plan to rise up against us one day. But do not despair, I have devised a plan to destroy them all and purge the land. What riches they have taken from Persia I will see are quickly gathered and returned to thee. All I ask is your seal of approval so I might once more restore your rule.
Good Haman, take my ring as a sign that this plan of yours is the will of mine.
Hear ye, one and all, the king has issued this new law. The 13th of Adar marks the day when the king's soldiers go out to slay all the Hebrews left on Persian soil until there are none left to till or toil. What is this forlorn music that reaches my ear? Seek out Mordecai's scribe and bring him here. Yes, mistress, this I willingly do. I will find the scribe and bring him to you. Dear uncle, my heart is filled with foreboding. What is this meaning of this moaning and groaning? A law has been decreed to kill our Hebrew folk because we are different. We are to suffer the sword's stroke. According to Haman, we will be dead by a set of sun. The 13th of Adar, the day is to be done. Esther, only you can reach the king. Go to him now, news of our plight you must bring. Tell him of Haman and his plan to slaughter our people throughout the land. The queen can only address the king if he calls. Without his invitation, she cannot enter his hall. For to do so, even with a motive so pure, can mean certain death, of that I am sure. The king has not called me for many a day. Surely I will be summoned without much delay. Patience, patience, you ask of me. We too shall perish by this decree. Turn into your inner strength, I beg of you, pray. Ask for guidance on this sad day. O queen, it seems you hold the key to turn the tide of the king's decree. Perhaps this is why you became the queen, for through your heart the truth shall be seen. I will fast for 3 days, the truth to make clear, and
Then face the king, the death meter. Ask the Hebrew folk to fast with me for an end to this dreaded decree.
The third night Esther awoke with a start, for a dream of warning had filled her heart. 2 moons did separate 2 goblets of gold. By this she knew 2 more days must unfold, before her plight to the king could be told. Yet to see her plan through, she had to go forth to face the king's guard. She had no recourse. The very next morn, Esther arrived at the king's door and was met with a spear. But the king saw it was his wife so dear, he forgot his anger and beckoned her near. Esther stepped forward and bowed to the ground, wherein a smile replaced the king's frown.
What request is so urgent, my queen, that you would risk your very life to be seen? A banquet tonight I shall prepare for thee, and thy minister Haman to share with me. Then shall I speak of my ardent plea. Dear wife, I find your invitation most intriguing. Haman and I will look forward to the feasting.
Oh dear, where can she be? It has been way too long since the king left me. Oh mistress, my heart is singing sore. I thought you were dead by the king's sword. How are you able to see the king without his own summoning?
It was the courage given to me that kept me steady and unwavering. My invitation caught the king by surprise. To kill me dead would not have sufficed. Since his curiosity I've aroused, he has agreed to come to my house. A torch! Send for the finest harvest to be likes to serve the king at the banquet tonight.
Come bring us your presents and precious offerings to help us prepare food fit for a king.
Long have we labored with sweat and with toil. Here is our harvest we reap from the soil. Receive now our honey and bouquet of flowers, the fruit of the earth, the sun and the showers. Gladly
have turned, my fame is assured. For tonight I dined with the king and queen undisturbed. Only one bothersome thorn remained in my side, the insolence of Mordecai, that Hebrew scribe. He refuses to bow whene'er I pass by.
My dear, I have heard that the king said that on the 13th of the Adar, the Jews will be dead. Since that Hebrew obviously has no respect, perhaps he should die an earlier death.
I will go tell the king in the dawn's early light, the gallows for Mordecai I'll have built this night.
Yes, when the king hears of the suffering you endured, he will order Mordecai to be hanged there on shore.
With mighty beams and thick strong walls, we build the town for one and all. With sand and stone, with clay and loam, we mold each brick and shape each home. From break of day till evening's call, we craft each part so none will fall.
What can this be to be called perhaps a chariot will be ordered to make.
Or maybe a tower to reach the sky.
A surprise for the king, no doubt have I. Before the sun doth rise once more, before the cock doth crow by the door, you are ordered by my decree to build a gallows in the square for me. Or should I say for Mordecai, for on these gallows he will die. Come, make haste.
Tossed and turned that night, for him there seemed no respite. So he called for his scribe and asked him to read adventures from the book of deeds.
It was the scribe, Mordecai's warning, that prevented your fateful poisoning. And as you ordered, the traitor from Paris by Haman can quickly perish.
And what scribe did Mordecai receive rendering such a royal deed?
None was different that I know.
Surely some honor was bestowed.
Since the book has no record of this, I doubt Mordecai received the gift.
This shameful oversight must be addressed soon. I want it recorded before the new moon. Alas, come on, he'll surely know how such honor on him can be bestowed.
But look, the king has sent for me. Now that the gallows are complete, about Mordecai's death I can speak.
Come on, if there was a man whose deed did show he saved the king from a certain foe, how should honor on him be bestowed?
A kingly robe o'er his shoulders flowing, a crown of gold on his head a-glowing, a royal steed carrying him proudly, led by noblemen calling loudly, Hear ye, one and all, here is one to be honored by king and all.
Bravo, Haman, your advice I shall take. Go forth to Mordecai, the scribe, and make him ready to proceed to the town on my steed, led by yourself, coming out to pay heed. Haman's dream was
Shattered like clay, thrown upon stones in the heat of the day. Hear ye, one and all. Honor from the king to Mordecai I bring. bell. Say, or something at once to the Queen speaks. Fear grips my mind like a clinging vine.
Like desert
Sands that shift in time, had the tables turned since last they dined. Esther saw her dream begin to unveil, as before her gaze Haman's tale.
Esther, my queen, speak to me. What is your wish? What is your plea?
A law has been passed in the king's own name, a law that orders death to me and my kin.
Who are these kin of whom you speak? Who dares conspire against my queen?
The Hebrew people are my own folk. We live in peace beneath your yoke. Mordecai the scribe is my uncle dear, who is led through the town by this man here. This man Haman, his death conspire against your queen and her people, sire.
Haman spoke to me of a certain folk, but cleverly gave him no name. He said they were a belly sent a threat to me. I began to see his treacherous scheme.
May I speak, my lady? O king, a gallows was built in the night, built by our carpenters, steady and right. At Haman's command, they hammered and banged to build a gallows for Mordecai to hang.
Who made you king that you could plan to take the life of any man? Esther, your people are hereby set free, in the hideous fate set in Haman's decree. Guard! Your courage and bravery I applaud, my queen. To save your people, it would seem, you were willing to offer as a sacrifice the gift of your own precious life. You prevented Haman from using my name to carry out his arrogant deed of shame. Scribe, let the book of deeds gloriously recite the story of Esther, my own true wife.
Upon his own gallows, Haman soon perished, and among her people, Queen Esther was cherished. Thirsty King Mordecai his golden ring, and for years his wisdom counseled the king. Esther's brave deed we celebrate each year with merriment, costume, and rousing good cheer. Her victory calls to our hearts and our minds how the courage of one can bless all mankind. Shalom, shalom.
Perhaps those who may be among us tonight for the first time may be wondering what is going to happen now. It is, of course, necessary for the minds and souls of us all